Fire magic is the use of fire for magical purposes. Fire is associated with life, new beginnings, passion, courage, strength, even anger, which makes fire a really great tool for manifesting. If you are in the beginning of your magical journey with fire, I would highly suggest working with ritual spelled candles to start with. These candles have an intention written on them and are already spelled so that you can use them at your leisure. This one is the Shadow Work Spell Candle. Look how beautiful it is. The general idea with the use of spell candles is that when you have lit your candle that has this intention, like for example the Shadow Work candle that I showed you earlier, you are essentially casting that spell out so that you can receive what you are desiring.
Oh, Stephen, there's one more thing I had to mention.
What is it?
I love you. Bye.
I guess I should stop.
Stephen, I know you were here.
Like I always do.
You know I can sense you.
Stephen Bomb! Whoa! I got you.
You got me.
And now you're blind.
Tiny hands.
Incense and Meanings. Part 1. Rose helps with lifting one's spirits, helps with depression, and calms one's emotions. Burning a rose incense stick promotes good health, love, and success. Lavender, soothing and relaxing. Burn when wanting to promote loving relationships or to attract a lover. Works well for love spells. The smell of lavender is associated with relaxing the mind, making it great to burn if struggles with sleeping. Dragon's blood helps to remove all evil spirits. Protection against the evil eye and helps to reverse any psychic attacks and harmful witchcraft that is sent against you. Vanilla represents the element of air, associates with mental thought and intelligence.
If your metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you. Yeah. Tryna give you more life. I can see through the spike. Niggas creeping like mice. I'ma speed through the mic. Got to be more precise. You ain't wrong if you right. Had a wonderful night. Paid a hell of a price. Paid a hell of a price. Be like a bite. Don't hurt your tongue when you niggas try bite. It's the SOS.
I love candle magic. Did you know that the first documented candle ritual was about 3000 BCE in ancient Egypt? Obviously, they weren't working with colored candles and the like, and it took many centuries before it transitioned into the folklore kind of candle magic that we see today. I'm not a candle dresser. That is, I don't put oils and herbs on my candles. I am a plain candle using gal. Now I do sprinkle at the bottom of my candles for my spell work, but I don't dress my candles. It's not my thing. It never has been. But let's talk about what we can use different colored candles for. And this is just a brief summary of what the different colored candles are for. Obviously, someone will come in and say white will substitute for anything, and it will. But I just like it, and I think it's fun. So if you don't, scroll on. If you do, stick around. Red, courage, passion, stamina. Orange can be used for justice, intellect, celebration. Yellow, focus, clarity. How about learning some new things? I think we all know green is generally used for prosperity, wealth. It can also be used for healing and growth. Blue, balance, peace, meditation. Lavender, your intuition, clairvoyance, healing. Pink can be used for nurturing, self-love, friendships. Brown, one of my favorites, grounding, stability, earth. Black absorbs energy, can be used for protection, and it helps us with the unconscious. White, clarity, protection, can help unblock, and can be used for any color. Let me know if you are a candle loving freak too. Hey, make today count. Don't fuck it up.
Dressing candles for spell work. Select candle colors and herbs in line with your goal. Suggestions for intuition, love, abundance, and protection. Dress your candle with a simple carrier oil or something in line with your goal, then infuse it with your energy. Prepare your herbs in a mortar and pestle or use them as is. Then roll your candle in the herbs to dress it fully. Now you're ready to light your candle. Always stay with your candle as it burns for safety and as an important part of its magic.
Today's episode of How the Fuck Do I Do This? I'm gonna show you how to dress a regular candle. This one's from Bath & Body Works because it smells fucking good. And if you don't like this video, let me stop you first. I don't give a fuck. Please keep scrolling. Thank you so much. For herbs, I'm using pennyroyal, lavender, peppermint, and basil. And for crystals, I'm using amethyst and sunstone. The point of this candle is going to be a little self-love, a little bit of healing and care, mixed in with a little bit of focus, creativity, you know what I mean? You don't have to use as many herbs as I did. I went a little bit overboard. Okay, that's my bad. But just make sure nothing's around the wick so it doesn't catch on fire. Because again, you can stop a forest fire by just not doing it in the first fucking place. And yeah, that's it. In case you're concerned, this is a 30-minute sped up version of the candle burning. So I can show you that it's not actually going to cause a fire if you just do what I say. But yeah, that's it. Switch out the herbs for ones that match your intentions. Same thing with the crystals. And that's it. Have a wonderful fucking day and do wonderful fucking things. Okay, bye!
Today I'm showing you this stuff you can make to dress a candle that I feel like just did not get enough attention from one creator. And I can't find his handle right now and tag him, but he is amazing. So I'll put him in the comments if I find it. But basically you're going to take molasses and charcoal. Mine is ground charcoal discs. I've seen him literally scrape charcoal off of a log he burned. It's amazing. Also, this is not a task to do if you cannot deal with sensory issues. It's going to get messy, and applying it is messy. I'm adding my altar oil to mine. He doesn't do this. I like to do this just because I'm a lazy witch, so I do my prep so that I can easily make things sacred. So this is one of the ways that I'm making this sacred, is by adding my altar oil. So yeah, you literally are just going to take this mixture and you're going to apply it to whatever you've carved into your candle. Again, if sensory issues, just don't do this. But I just like the way it looks, and I also like the associations. So yeah.
Alright, we're going to be teaching some of you novice practitioners some real fire safety when it comes to your spell work. The do's and the don'ts, because I don't want y'all burning your houses down or having glass blow up in your face. First off, most important thing to note, the longer your fire burns, the hotter it's going to get, and the harder it's going to be to put out. And that is very, very important to take into consideration when doing spell work. Now we're going to talk about glass. These right here are literally sold as tea light candle holders, and they can be used as such. But if you have anything bigger than a singular tea light flame in this, it's going to crack and it could possibly explode. So even when burning a tea light flame in here, you still need to pay attention to this. It doesn't matter how small the flame is, don't be walking out of the room with an active fire in it. Now, if you do want to burn something in glass, first off, always consider that no matter how strong the glass is, it always has that possibility to crack or break. But if you are wanting to use glass with heat, you're gonna wanna get something that has way thicker glass. And more preferably, if you can, older glass. Vintage glass just seems to last longer, but the thicker glass is not going to break or crack as easily, and it can withstand higher temperatures. Which is also why, and this is not an attack towards anyone who uses Dollar Tree items, sometimes I do myself, but Dollar Tree glass is not going to be a safe option for fire. And that is the same thing to consider with different stones or tiles. Stones meaning crystal and actual stone. Tile can hold heat pretty well until the heat gets real hot. Like I said, the longer it goes, the hotter the flame burns. And I've had instances where tiles have shot across the room. Now, my top tier recommendation for spell work is using some kind of metal or copper. Or of course, cast iron. But that shit is expensive. Now, this one needs to be cleaned. This one I just used for spell work today. But this is thin metal. You're not gonna have to worry about it exploding. These types of things you can find at like Goodwill, thrift stores. I think sometimes Dollar Tree even has them, but metal can withstand higher heats. But now we're gonna have to talk about what goes underneath it. You need to be very considerate about what you're burning on top of. What is your table made out of? What is your floor made out of? Right here, this is real wood. Obviously, again, don't mind the mess. Just got done with spell work. You would think that because it's real wood, you wouldn't have to worry about it melting or cracking or breaking or whatever. You may be correct, but you're still wrong. You still need to worry about this. Because if you put this on top of this, it can still burn this. And that's because the heat doesn't need flame to burn things. For instance, this spot on this altar. There's a very simple solution for that. You need something that has legs that's off the ground, like a metal bowl, or something like this that has little legs on it. I'm gonna make a part 2 on fire safety with spell work, so stick around. Welcome to part 2 of witchcraft and fire safety. The last video was what to put your fire in or on. This one's about how to put it out. Because your first instinct when you see a fire is to throw water on it, right? Well, what if I told you that if you were to throw water on your spell work, it could potentially explode and become a bigger flame? Now let me explain. A lot of us use things like essential oils or infused oils or other oils and even alcohol. All of those things do not mix well with this. And a lot of waxes in themselves have a lot of oil, especially things like soy wax. So when you're combining these waxes, which are anti-water, and these oils that are anti-water, and you go to throw water on it, potentially if your flame got too big or if you just wanted to put it out that way, is the water that you throw on it is not going to mix with the rest of it. The ingredients like the oil and the wax is not going to absorb the water. So it rejects the water, creating an explosion. So if your spell work got out of hand, what would you need to do to put it out? You can use something like flour or baking soda, but if it's a real big fire, that would not be the first thing I go to. Okay, so say that there's a flame on this that's getting out of hand and you need to put it out immediately, very quickly. You want to take another metal container or metal lid of some sort that's preferably bigger than this, because otherwise flames will just go around it, and you just want to just put it on top and it will put the fire out like immediately. You want to wait a couple seconds or minutes even to remove this, otherwise the flame can be kick-started again by the amount of smoke. And this is going to create a lot of smoke, by the way, so you're going to want to set this outside. Now, worst case scenario, you don't have something like that to smother it with. Then you would want to use a wet blanket or towel, a very absorbent type of cloth. And you're going to want to, get it very wet and throw it over, smother it, same like with that. So I hope this helps. Don't set your houses on fire. Don't burn your shit down. Don't walk out of rooms that have fire in them, especially spell work. And my most honest advice for this is the fact that it is going to get out of hand sometimes. If you're doing spell work all the time, especially if you do spell work for a living like I do, your spell work is going to trail and it is going to grow flames. It's nothing to freak out about. You do not need to freak out during a fire. That's the last thing you want to do in any kind of catastrophic situation. You just need to remember those types of things so that you can smother them and always have those things nearby when doing spell work. If you are in the drier seasons, when it comes to doing spell work outside and there's not a fire ban, make sure you're aware of the fire bans in your local area, by the way, so you don't get fined. But if it's dry outside and you're trying to do magic outside, then you need to wet the ground first, just to be safe. Or do it on concrete, and make sure you're not doing spell work on a windy day, because that can make the fire carry. Blessed be, don't die.
Oh my god! Oh.
I could not go to sleep tonight without telling you how to properly extinguish a candle fire. Don't ever put water on it. I'm going to show you 2 ways to put out a candle fire if this ever happens to you. Do not try this at home. Everybody has a pot and pan lid. Snuff your fire. Without oxygen, it cannot survive. That's option 1. Option 2 is baking soda. I didn't have enough, but here's some more, but there you go. Baking soda or a pot and pan lid. Keep it safe, you guys.
I don't know what witch needs to hear this, but if you have a fire like this and you're using oils and other additives to the flame, you cannot put it out with water. If you have a cup of water nearby while doing flames like this, it's not gonna fucking work, okay? Salt. You can put it out with salt. Get the good one with a lot of it, okay, in case you need to put it out in case of emergency. If you put and dress candles and shit with oil, it's a completely different fire. You put water on it, it's gonna get 10 times worse, okay? I don't know what witch needs to hear this, but please, learn basic fire safety. It could save your life and your home. Thank you.
In the crystalline knowledge of you.
If you cannot finish a spell, if you cannot stay up and have it burn all the way complete,
that's a fantastic post. I highly recommend clicking the link below and watching the entire video for some context and then come back because I want to expand on that idea a little bit. So, candle magic and how to treat your spell as it's burning. Let's talk about it a bit. So, as the practitioner, even after the candle is lit, you are still the one who is in control of the spell. Even though the fire is started, you are still the one working with the energies, combining the energies of different ingredients, and it's your intent and will that drive the magic of this spell work. There are so many spells out there that involve lighting a candle, putting it out, and then relighting it the next day. There is no reason that you can't put the pause button on the middle of a spell work if you need to. But this idea goes even deeper than that. Don't be afraid to work with your candle as the spell progresses. Take a note of any issues that you have as the candle burns, but don't be afraid to correct them as the spell progresses. Never forget, you're the one in control of your craft.
whoever said I'm not allowed to blow out my candles can suck a giant bag of penises, okay? Pretty sure my ancestors and my spirit guides don't give a fuck whether I blow it out or snuff it out or however the fuck I want to take it out, okay? That's another thing. Why the fuck does everyone have a fucking problem with me saying fuck while I'm doing my fucking spell work? It's either because I'm a woman or because this is witchcraft and everyone thinks it's light and love, which, bitch, I don't know why you thought I was a light and love witch. I'm not. Go away. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Look at these cauldron candles. Aren't they pretty? They have pyrite, clear quartz, and obsidian, and I love them so much. Okay, bye.
They say to never blow it out. They say it ruins the spell. But what if that's a lie? What if blowing it out completes the magic? Because in that one breath, you're summoning all four elements. We have the fire, which is already lit. Then we have the earth, the cotton wick, grounded and strong. Water, the moisture in your breath, and then, of course, air, your exhale, that's carrying the wish. This isn't destruction, it's activation. The moment your breath meets the flame, the spell launches. So no, I'm not putting it out. I'm setting it free. So, are you gonna let it burn? Or are you gonna blow it out? That's the question.
So Motipi. Oh my god, I can't believe you just did that. What are you talking about? Blow out your candle? Obviously. Like, don't you know that's super disrespectful? Really? Okay, I don't know who you've been listening to on TikTok, but do you even know the real reason why it's considered disrespectful to blow out your candles? I don't know, it's probably some ancient proverb or like folklore or something. Wrong. No, it has to do with the fact that candles originally were made out of tallow, aka animal fat. So when you blew out a candle, you were spreading a bunch of animal fat all over the place.
Ew, that's disgusting.
Yeah, no shit, it's disgusting. That's why people said it was disrespectful to blow out a candle. Okay, but you're still blowing out your intentions when you blow out a candle. Or you're literally blowing your intentions into the universe, since when you blow out a candle, you're literally offering the flame the air from your lungs, which ultimately is one of the most significant things you can offer it, since ultimately nothing in this world can survive without oxygen. That's why your only other option when it comes to getting rid of flames is literally smothering it out,
which ultimately is considered one of the most painful ways to go.
Oh, shit, that's dark. Okay, so it's okay to blow it out? Blow it out? That's what he said. Sorry, I couldn't control myself. I mean, ultimately, it's up to whoever is the practitioner, because ultimately we all have different practices and beliefs. So if you want to blow out your candles, go for it. If you don't, go for it. Just don't harass me about it.
Today's episode of How the Fuck Do I Do This, we're gonna make an electric candle spell for everyone that has an apartment or a dorm room or somewhere they can't use fire. And before we begin, I just want everyone to remember the last candle spell that I did that was battery powered, that everyone on Witch Talk lost their fucking minds over. So if you're one of them, fuck you, suck a dick, and keep scrolling because I don't care about your opinion. I use these candles because I'm kind of afraid of fire. Apartment fire, you know, we're just not gonna use fire anymore. We're starting off with a little selenite plate underneath the candle because I'm not gonna put the herbs on the candle, we're gonna put it around the candle. For herbs, I'm using green tea, basil, peppermint, lemongrass, orris root, and you can also use thyme or red clover. Crystals, I'm using pyrite and green aventurine. Those are my go-to money crystals. And the sigil is for money, prosperity, and luck. Remember to say good luck when you're setting your intentions, because if you just say luck, it could be bad. But also remember to set your intentions in general, because we do want the spell to work. Either way, it's really pretty decoration, but I feel like you want the money, so maybe let's set our intentions, yeah? I'm gonna go ahead and keep that in the office, and that's it.
Candle magic is one of my favorite things in the world, and believe it or not, you don't necessarily need fire to do candle magic. Let's take a look at my flameless deity candles. I got these flameless candles from Target, and I dressed them in a similar way that you would dress a real wax candle. There are, of course, limitations to using flameless candles. I can't read the flames or the wax drippings on these, so I use other candles for communication. But since these candles are technically permanent offerings to the deities I work with, I figured why not make them completely permanent? With a little bit of glue, some herbs, and other decorations you might want to attach, there's basically no limit to how you can dress a flameless candle. I turn these candles on when I want to honor that deity or incorporate them into a working that I'm doing, and the fact that they're flameless means I don't have to watch them too closely. This is Hades' candle. As you can see, I dripped 3 different colors of wax on the top, black, red, and gold. I pressed some gold leaf onto the bottom of the candle and sprinkled the top with some peppermint, which I then went over with Mod Podge to make sure it would stay in place. I hot glued some bones on top too. I like these because I can light them whenever I want on any part of my altar, and I don't have to worry about the things above them or attach to them catching on fire.
Chilled in the kitchen of a city tune. The light would flicker like a violent wound. The night was thicker than a smoky fume. And
fed up on fed up. Fed up, fed up, fed up, fed up, fed up on fed up. Fed up, fed up, fed up on fed up, fed up on with the drugs. Fed up with the fake love, with the gun of a bank on bank on.
Welcome back to Beginner Witch 101. Let's make a standard ward. First, you're going to use a black candle. You can use a white candle. Personally, for wards, I prefer black. Cleanser candle. Lavender incense. You can use whatever flavor you have. Next up, you're going to do a salt circle. You can fight me on this. I want to do a salt circle for this working. So I'm just going to pour some salt onto a plate and create a circle with my finger. Just like that. Carve a pentagram or pentacle in the top of the candle. Now we're going to add our ingredients. So this is a ward. I want to use something a little spicy, not too spicy. We're going to use a little bit of crushed red pepper, and this is for protection and to keep away nasty energy. If somebody runs into it, it may have a little bite. Rosemary for protection. Black poppy seed around the outside of the salt circle, and this is so that if anybody runs into this, they're extremely confused. Stinging nettle to keep away unwanted energy, removing evil eye, protection. Yarrow for protection and potency. Mugwort, and this is so if anybody runs into this, they will get nightmares, and to protect you. And of course, I'm going to add some cloves for protection and dominance over my own domain. Then you're going to light this candle. Now, because this is a huge candle, I'll actually burn this repeatedly, probably over a month-long period. When I'm done with it, I'll take the wax remnants and the herbs, put them into a sachet or a jar, and keep as an anchor.
Today, let's talk about some ways to turn a jar candle into a protection ward. First, pick out your jar candle and remove all stickers and labels. Some things to consider when picking out your jar candle are the size, color, and smell. Start by cleansing your jar candle. Let's switch things up and cleanse it with a bell. Ring the bell once and then let the tone go out on its own. Take a moment to hold your candle and charge it with your own energy, and then begin carving your own protection symbols, sigils, and runes. This next part is completely optional, but I've drilled holes into my candle that I'm going to fill with protective herbs and reseal with the same wax. When you're happy with the way your candle is dressed, feel free to add a crystal and let it charge under the moonlight. pause to read in more detail, but the first time you light this candle is an important one. You need to meditate with it for as long as possible and visualize energy from the candle forming a bubble around your home. This is a type of ward that can alert you. Reading the flame and the condition of the candle are signs of how the ward is doing.
You wear those shoes and I will wear that dress. Oh, kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling.
Welcome back to Beginner Witch 101. Let's create a transmutation ward. We are going to be using a red candle today. First up, we are going to be cleansing her because we want to start with a nice neutral base. Okay, so next up, you want to write onto your candle. I'm going to read it to you because it is hard to see. May any bad energy be returned away from me. May all bad intentions turn into luck, prosperity, and good fortune. Very simple. Next, you are literally going to take an arrow, because the working starts here, and draw the arrow down. It's a little wonky, but that's okay, because this is what you're doing. You're transmuting that energy, right? Next up, you're going to add some herbs. We are going to do a few clove, and this is for domination over the working and transmuting that energy. Plus clove is for prosperity. We're going to add blessed thistle, and this is to counteract any negative energies being sent our way, also to bless us. Lastly, we are going to add some basil, and this is for protection and prosperity. So the point is, all of the herbs have duality. Clove for domination over the working and for prosperity and luck. Blessed thistle to counteract negative energy and bless us. So that is just, in my opinion, a good transmutation ward. Has duality to the herbs that you are adding in. Then you want to light this. I usually light it sometimes once a day, sometimes once a week, sometimes every 2 weeks. It just depends on the energy that I'm feeling. But this is a ward that's going to last you for a while, and you're just going to keep relighting it.
So what do you do when you're finished with a ritual or spell and you have the leftover ingredients? Hello, if you're new here, my name is David. On this channel, I post astrological transits, spell work, crystal reviews, and more. You'll want to disassemble the spell, make 2 piles, one with the items you plan to reuse, and another pile with items to throw away. And honestly, most of the ingredients can be reused. For instance, this energy rice, I plan to scoop it up back in the jar and reuse it in the future. If you're curious on how to make this, I do have a video on my channel about it. If you do need to throw something away, be sure it gets tossed far away from the home or bury it outside in the ground. If you're concerned about it being energetically charged, sage with smoke or rinse it off in the sink with water. Follow for more tips.
Quick and easy way to dispose of a spell. Blow out the candle and put the contents into a toilet paper tube. Bury it in the garden if you want to welcome something in or away from your house if you're getting rid of something.